For over a quarter of a century, the coppers of Sun Hill have gripped us with their gritty plots, great characters and realistic dialogue.
You cheeky cow!
But as TV's longest-running police drama reaches retirement, it's time to salute the loyal service of The Bill.
Oh, Eunice, where are they?
This is the story of the show and its final weeks of filming as cast and crew bid an emotional farewell to 27 years on the beat.
Good morning.
It's a big week for the cast and crew of Sun Hill. They're shooting the final ever episode of The Bill, and this 2,400th programme will be their last.
I think The Bill gets made to the quality that it gets made is because of the relationships and friendships that we all share. And that's what I'm going to miss the most. It's just such good fun.
My character's far too important to drive. Sorry, in you get, driver. Enjoy there.
A quick rehearsal before they go for a take. It's their final scene in the police van, and Smith is having a pop at his sergeant's band driving.
You were on the pavement, you were on the curb.
Set and action.
Well, he was like Lewis Hamilton, gone mental. You were on the pavement, you were on the curb.
I was in complete control at all times. More laughter greets this.
The Bill has been making its unique brand of arresting television for 27 years now. But how did it all start? Let's look at the evidence.
OK, Carver. Let's do it.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir.
It was Britain, 1983. Riots, unemployment and unrest. Against this backdrop, rookie PC Jim Carver turned up for his first day at Sun Hill. The Bill had begun.
Oh, my God.
While other cop shows had concentrated on elite squads of detectives, The Bill had set its sights firmly on the front line, the ordinary Bobby on the beat. And with its realistic portrayal of grassroots policing, the show quickly became a hit.
It was always following it from the police's point of view. A lot of chasing. We almost felt dizzy watching it. So it gripped people straight from the start. It took the audience right into the story straight away.
The Bill was probably the first big mainstream drama to really take a lot of techniques from documentary. So the handheld camera, it didn't have music, it was the sounds of the street. And I think that did make it feel really innovative.
Hey, I got nothing to do with you lot!
At the time, there was nothing else like it on our screens. And The Bill gave us some of television's best-loved characters. Model cops like PC June Ackland, lovable PC Tony Stamp, and firm but fair Sergeant Bob Cryer.
Give you a minute to cool down, right?
Glad to see that nose job was a success, Bobby.
And of course, the ever-charming Sergeant Frank Burnside, the maverick cop with a string of one-liners that made him enemies not just amongst the villains, but at Sun Hill too.
How do you fancy a trip to paradise?
Go away, Burnside. I've had enough for one day.
And who could forget bad boy DS Don Beach, the bent copper who murdered a fellow officer and went on the run before surfacing in Australia.
Action!
The characters may be larger than life, but the props are the real deal. All the cars are authentically modelled police vehicles, making The Bill the only show allowed to use real Metropolitan Police uniforms and equipment.
You can't win in this costume. In the summer, it's sweltering, and your feet, because you're in rubber boots. I don't know how the real police do it.
We are absolutely identical to the Metropolitan Police. And we do get an awful lot of kids coming up and asking for autographs and pictures and, can you do this? Are you a real one? That's always a good one.
Yeah, well, it's my lucky day.
Yeah, you're lucky.
We take the authenticity of what we do very seriously. It means a lot to us because we work very hard to make sure that this show is as close to what it is like being a Met police officer as it is possible to be. And I think it's always humanised the police service. Not all of our police officers have been heroic, but they have all been human.
Baby, it's Sun Hill. It's brilliant.
Let's go!
Yay!
You're a good man.
It's my job, isn't it?
But how do you say goodbye to something after a quarter of a century? For the show's producers, how to sign off the series was a very tough decision. So what do you do? An explosion? The Bill's already seen its fair share of those. But the producers felt that razing Sun Hill to the ground wasn't really a fitting end for Britain's favourite cop shop.
We thought the options were that we could blow everything up and do something big and mad and sensational. But we ruled that out because we wanted to do something that celebrated what the Bill has always been about, which is ordinary people wearing a uniform and taking responsibility for society. We wanted to send out a message of this is what the Bill has always done, life goes on, and we wanted to finish with our heads held high.
So no explosive finale. Instead, something far cleverer. The last episode starts with a crime that's become all too common, the fatal stabbing of a teenage boy. In this scene, Smithy and partner Callum Stone are after one of the murder suspects, and this will be the last chase for this much-loved crime-fighting duo. Chase sequences have always been a hallmark of the Bill, and in this final one, Stone's pursuing at high speed by car with just a little help from Andy the stuntman.
All the stuff that is essentially dangerous than your man who does it.
Yeah,
He just looks a lot better when he does it.
I don't like speed, don't like it. He used to drive Miss Daisy, so...
I did, actually, yeah.
But it's Smithy who's doing all the hard work in this scene, as he's chasing on foot. I hope he's getting paid extra.
Run round that way. This camera's following you. Mate.
Yeah?
Take a right as soon as you can. Keep going. Lovely.
3, 2, 1, action!
That was great, Sam. Well done.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that was...
Not even a sweat.
Small car mounted cameras then film Sam Callis driving, or as some call it, taking the credit.
Stand by, please.
And these shots are then cut together with the stunt drivers.
We work very hard with these final episodes to make sure that all the trademarks of the Bill are in there. And the Bill is a show where we get out on the streets of London and we film some big action numbers. I think we're skidding a car right now. It's the sound of the Bill. I love it. But it's, I was driving here and just... There they go again. That's quite a big skid.
They can't resist a big skid on the Bill, and they've filmed over 400 chases since it began. Surprisingly, very few of these cars ever get written off, thanks to the skills of the stunt and special effects departments. These eye-popping feats are the handiwork of precision drivers, but visual trickery deceives us into believing it's the characters who are behind the wheel. This is Sam and Alex's last ever chase together, and they're about to film the final sequence.
Same way. Lewis,
You can give it a dusting, right?
Just a little bit, sweetie.
In this section, Alex is still doing all the running, but Sam does get to do his own driving.
I'm going to chase Lewis down here. He's going to come round, attempt to get over that wall, doesn't quite make it. I come round in the car, skid into this position, at which point Alex turns up.
And I do a bit of this.
Do you need me to give you a minute? And then we get in the car with you.
And that's it, pretty much, really.
Stone pelts after the suspect in the car, leaving Smithy running to catch up. It's a serious business shooting the Bill. But there's always time to take the mick out of your mate's driving. But Smithy's not off duty yet, as the director wants another take.
So to show you where I was, so we can sort of like, you can do this with me, director. Come on, let's just...
Alex Walkinshaw has been running in every scene during this 10-hour shooting day. Who said acting was easy? Chases are a signature of the Bill, and over the course of the series, Sun Hill's officers and villains have treated us to some spectacular athleticism. But doing take after take for the cameras means you have to be in good shape for this show. After all that charging around, Smithy's taking a break. By the way, that's one of the real Bill he's talking to, not an extra. Whenever the Bill's out filming on the streets, Metropolitan Police officers are on hand to reassure the public that it's a film shoot and not the real thing.
An actor prepares. I'm getting some notes off the real ones. Staying relaxed, eating my ice cream. Ready to go and solve some crime.